Hi, and welcome to another Wednesday on the Pagan Perspective. I'm your host Eric, and this week's topic, we're talking about alternative medicines. So this week we're talking about alternative medicines and what we do, what we use, what we know. Well, I've actually asked my nephew Connor to come and help me out this week with this video, so we'll just jump right in and get to that. So this is my nephew Connor, and I've asked him to join me. Basically, he's going to be my guinea pig so that I can show you guys kind of what I do with some of my alternative healing. Now, the first thing I want to mention is herbalism. All different types of herbs have different types of properties that will help and or hinder your health and your ability to continue to live. What I mean is there are certain herbs that help with the digestive tract, being a lot of mint family type herbs will help out with that. One of the things I've noticed is mugwort occasionally. If I'm having a hard time, I don't have asthma attacks, but if I'm feeling all stuffy, sometimes I'll burn a little bit of mugwort, and that tends to help a little bit. Eucalyptus is really good for that. One of my favorite cold remedies, however, is a Native American herb called osha root. I don't know if any of you have actually heard about it. I have a little bit here. I'm just going to show you some. But osha root has this fantastic property. It's got all sorts of antioxidants and whatnot in it, and it looks absolutely terrible. This hasn't been washed or anything. But what you do is when you can feel a cold coming on, you just break a little bit off. I'm not going to do it, and I'll explain why in a minute. But you break a little bit off, kind of get the dirt off if you can, and then you put it in your mouth and chew on it for a little while. Don't swallow it because it will tear you up pretty good. You don't want that. So you just chew it up, and then when you feel like you've had enough, you spit it back out, and then go rinse all the grit out of your teeth. Well, one of the things with osha root, in my opinion, in my experience, I should say, is that if you need it, you can't taste it very well. But if you don't need it, it tastes awful. I mean, I cannot even begin to describe how awful it is. But I do use, if you're feeling ill and have been for a while, go to a doctor. We have fantastic Western medicine that keeps people healthy, and I swear by it for any major issues. If it's a digestive issue and it doesn't bother you so much, try mint. If you have heartburn, and I know a lot of people who have heartburn, especially with acid reflux and whatnot, one of the things you can do is use baking soda. A teaspoon of baking soda and 2 ounces of warm water, mix it up, it'll bubble just like Alka-Seltzer. You take a shot of that, and one good belch, and you're done. Heartburn is gone. Anyhow, one of the things I do for aches and pains and sometimes digestive issues is rune work. I use rune work, and I'm actually going to use Connor here as my example. Now we'll go ahead and move into that. When we come back, I'm just going to be diving straight in to show you exactly how that works. So the first thing I want to show you is what we call a bind rune. Now, sometimes if I'm going to use a rune specifically for whatever purpose, I'll just draw the rune. But for example, if I'm going to try and help Connor with a digestive issue, depending on what it is, I'm going to actually draw it out on him. Like, I'm going to ask questions like, okay, have you been overly active, gastrointestinally speaking?
Not so much.
Not so much? Okay. So things are going good for you in the stomach region, and we're not actually putting any energy into this, otherwise I'd do that as part of this. It's actually kind of a little ritual. But then I'd go, okay, well, we want health, and health is associated with urus. So I'll start with urus. I'll actually draw it on. You can use any marker. I like using permanent markers because they last longer. And we want health, so we put urus in there. Now, let's say we want to make sure that everything is, if say there were, bloating or intestinal issues with pain, gas pain or something like that, I'd probably put urus, and then I would use wunjo. And then I just redraw right here. I put the rune for joy and happiness. Now, if there was a blockage, which there's not, I'm just stating that because there's not. But if it was having some sort of intestinal blockage, or if he came to me looking for some sort of remedy for constipation and didn't want to take drugs for it, which I would probably do personally, I would come in and I'd draw urus, and then I'd probably draw, say come down and draw tewas, which would just add another one here. A bind rune is just any number of runes. You can go to my page to look at the runes. It's youtube.com/user/lurch579, or you can link from the Pagan Perspective homepage. Now, any of these is entirely useful for gastrointestinal aches and pains through muscles and whatnot, stuff like that. Now, if you're going into a situation where you usually injure yourself, then I would probably use something along the lines of, for example, I hurt my back at work a lot, and I hope you guys can kind of see this through the suspenders, but thank you. Like, if I'm going to go into work and I know that I'm going to hurt my back doing something, I will put urus for health, and then I will add on top of that, I'll add thurisas for protection, so that I can be aware to make sure that I am, keeping myself from doing anything unnecessarily dangerous, and then, just stuff like that. Now, that's one of my favorite ways to use energy and to use the runes for healing purposes and things of that nature. But I would say if you're having any sort of real health issues, go see a doctor. If it's something minor that you would normally just ignore, by all means, use the runes, use whatever energy work that you're comfortable with. Herbs, any herbal supplements to your diet. One of the things is, especially for guys out there, athlete's foot is a problem. I mean, I have it most of the time, not for any other reason than I get lazy. But athlete's foot, if you're looking for something more natural, tea tree oil is the way to go. Tea tree oil directly on, and then wash vigorously before. And yeah, I mean, it really, really works. It clears up for 3-4 weeks at a time. And even if I am being lazy and not taking care of my feet, changing my socks twice a day like I'm supposed to. At any rate, herbal supplements and using rune energy work, using any energy work that you're familiar or comfortable with, and like I said, if it's something serious, life-threatening, or debilitating, go see a doctor. I can't emphasize that enough, but I do hope you enjoyed this movie. Connor, thanks for helping me out on this. Okay. But until next time, Odin be with you.